Good morning, everyone. Was an addict here. So today, cheers to you. Today marks 3 years since I started my journey from recovering from meth and alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. So I started my journey on this date 3 years ago, and I didn't think I'd make it this far, not having doubting myself, but it was extremely hard. And to get where I was, it was just like, yeah, I don't think I can make it. But I did. I put everything in. And for 3 years, I felt like using. I struggled. I had a really bad time. I had to teach myself to be able to come out of my four walls and start a life without using, which I didn't know how to because, I started using when I was 16. So, my entire life revolved around using and getting high. I was a party animal. I do miss partying. But it's not worth it. You can actually have fun without drugs and drinking. It just takes time for you to reboot, and then you actually feel that. But not getting sick. You feel that goodness, and I always said to myself, I just want to be normal. I just want to be like everyone else that can get a job. And they can go out and do normal stuff. That they don't need to drink, that they need to use. They can have friends without using, stuff like that. I just want to be normal. And I just want to be able to have fun and not rely on something that makes me a fun time. I want to be normal, So I put on that journey and I put the hard yards in. It was a battle and a half. This year come up to a year, because I relapsed a couple of times. But this year it come up to over a year in 2 months or 3 months now. So that's new waters for me. But I feel very, very different this time around. And I always keep this date because this is where I started. This is where I started this journey. And it didn't take a year, it didn't take 2 years. It took 3 years. And that's the battle that I put up. That's like a sentence in jail, Many days I wanted to give up, many days. And many days I didn't know why I was fighting. I had this breakthrough. I think I was probably a year. I was living at that new house. So I think I was a year and 6 months. And I was lying on the bed and all of a sudden I went into a trance. I don't know if you guys have been into one of these before, but you actually see flashes of stuff. And I had my mate come to me in spirit and show me pictures of my son. And that day I cried, because I didn't know my worth. I struggled to be a mum. I struggled to be a friend, I struggled to be everything. And that day something just went, and I started to fight to show my son and anyone that's going through this that it is possible to do. And I wanted to be a good role model to my son. He's older now, and I hope he doesn't go through that, that addiction stage, because it's not a short time. Addiction is definitely not a short time. It's a long haul, and I wish I knew the day that I put that drink in my mouth or smoked that blunt, that doobie, that it would take my whole life away. And the battle going through addiction is extremely hard, but fighting to get out of it is even harder. And that's why most of us don't make it. We tend to go back, or we take our lives, or we go back once and we lose you completely. Now, I did this on my own. I put a lot of time to myself. All right, guys, I got to go. Someone's calling me.